Just a little while ago, we received an update from Sandals about the reopening of their Jamaica resorts from Hurricane Melissa. So we want to share what that update is. Jen has been working very diligently over the last week with all of her clients. So we're going to go through all of that for Sandals, in addition to the Hyatt Inclusive properties that have been affected on the island of Jamaica. They've released information about the reopening of their resorts, so we're going to go through everything you need to know about that in this video. We're just about a week after Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica, and recovery efforts are still ongoing. So if you have the means to do so, please consider donating to the Sandals Foundation. They would really appreciate your support. We have the URL right here on the screen. It's also linked in the video description, so please consider donating if you can.
So as Andy mentioned, we're gonna start by going through the Sandals and Beaches announcement that was made literally 30 minutes ago. And then after that, we'll get into Hyatt Inclusive Collection and everything we know about those properties. But for Sandals, there are 5 resorts that are gonna be opening December 6th. So just over a month from now. And those are, I'm gonna be reading it, Sandals Dunn's River, Sandals Ocho Rios, which is Sandals Ochi, Sandals Royal Plantation, Sandals Negril, and Beaches Negril. So it seems like there wasn't as much damage to these resorts, and they're just gonna, over the next month, be working to get it in prime condition to begin welcoming guests back in early December. Now, there are 3 resorts that were hit a lot harder and are gonna take quite a bit of time to get them back into the condition that we would all, come to know of the Sandals brand. So Sandals Montego Bay, Sandals Royal Caribbean, and Sandals South Coast will remain closed until May 30th of 2026, so over 6 months.
Yeah.
It has been really tough seeing all of the videos on social media. South Coast is one of my personal favorite resorts of all of the 8 Sandals resorts that I've been to so far. I have an image in my head of like what it looked like when I looked outside my room, and just seeing it, like all of the pools were just like grayish black looking, tubs were off balconies. The over-the-water wedding chapel is gone.
Yeah.
The dock going to the over-the-water bungalows, gone. So I saw a little video of a cat, though. There was so many cats at this property, like walking around after the hurricane had left, and I was like, oh, glad they're safe. But it's been pretty horrible. So understanding that they need so much time to get it back to a good place.
Yeah, so they've obviously taken the last week to assess the properties. I'm sure talk with their insurance companies about, how they kind of move forward with the rebuilding of these resorts. Them closing it for the better part of 7 months says they're doing this the right way. They want to make sure that the standard that their guests have known to come to expect from the Sandals brand is going to be there when these resorts reopen. So again, as Jenna said, that'll be happening for those 3 properties in the middle of next year.
So you may be wondering, if you have a booking at some of these resorts in the next 6 months, what your options are. So especially if you're booked at Montego Bay, Royal Caribbean, or South Coast, which is literally closed until the end of May, you do have a lot of options. And those options do depend on when you're traveling. If you have already, made your final payment and you're past the point of no return, I'd like to call it, you still can stay at your resort and push it out up to a year, and they'll move you. You won't be paying anything additional. You could keep your current dates and switch to another resort, or switch to another resort in general up to the next year. That's totally fine. They'd put you in a comparable room category at no extra cost. And if you are, again, past the point of no return, you're already locked into your rate and everything, you can still cancel, submit a claim to insurance if you have the insurance, and get a full refund since your resort is closed, which is good. So you have a lot of options. If you are traveling more than 45 days out, you are in that window where you can still get a full refund for canceling at any point anyway. So you do have a lot of flexibility. And this is why I think it's so important to work with a travel agent. You have somebody to really help you in instances like this, especially because there's always a lot of misinformation circling online. Just in the past week, I kept having clients reach out saying, oh, I saw on Facebook that somebody was able to get a refund right away. And it's just important to have somebody in your corner who is getting the latest accurate information and can help you understand your options and get things sorted for you.
If you have questions about what all this means for your vacation, feel free to leave us a comment here and we'll get back to you to clarify all of these updates because it's a lot of information. So leave us a comment and we'll be sure to get back to you. But now we're going to shift into the Hyatt Resorts. So the Hyatt Inclusive Resorts that this pertains to on Jamaica are as follows. It's Breathless Montego Bay, Dreams Rose Hall, Hyatt Zilara Rose Hall, Hyatt Ziva Rose Hall, Secrets St. James Montego Bay, Secrets Wild Orchid Montego Bay, Jewel Grande Montego Bay Resort and Spa, and Zoëtry Montego Bay. So 8 Hyatt Inclusive Resorts on Jamaica. Now, what they have said about the update to their hurricane policy is they have waived cancellation fees for direct bookings for all stays through November 30th, 2025. They have also waived no-show and cancellation fees for guests unable to arrive to their resort due to airport closures or flight cancellations related to the storm. On that note, we should say that as of recording of this video, the 3 international airports in Jamaica, so Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, and Kingston, are all open. However, we do recommend that you check with your airline for the latest of your flight schedule, just to make sure you have the latest and greatest information on that front. Hyatt also confirmed that for reservations made via online travel agents or other third parties, guests may contact their booking provider for information on their policies and for further assistance. So the big thing to know here is that as of October 31st, those 8 resorts that I mentioned have all temporarily suspended operations in Jamaica through January 31st of 2026.
And for everything we said about Sandals and what Andy just said for the Hyatt Inclusive Collection with resorts who are impacted, these dates could also change again. So like Hyatt says they're closed through the end of January, they very much in December or January could say, you know what, these 3 resorts need more time, we're pushing it out another 2 months. Same thing for Sandals, they could say, oh, nope, South Coast is now closed through June. That always can happen. So this information is accurate as of today, which is November 3rd. So it is important to consistently either check in with your travel agent or check in on the website of the resort that you've booked.
So that's everything we know about Sandals, beaches, and Hyatt as it pertains to the reopening of the resorts in Jamaica. Sending all our love to the people and the wonderful team members at these resorts who are affected. And again, if you have the means to do so, please consider donating to the Sandals Foundation. And if more updates come out, we'll be sure to let you know.